Let's see if this goes. I'm expating Canada, not because I'm mad. It's because I have to. For one thing, my credit score is down so much because the family stole money off me, and they wouldn't pay it back. I couldn't get. I had blocks to justice again. I've been shot at, and the cops are my friends because they've been shot at too. And your lawyers just let them out. You know, justice in Canada. Well, in Ontario, it's not here. It's not in this province. Tried to get a loan. My phone broke down. It's an iPhone 13. I'm using this. And I can't get my codes back to start the business. But I might have to start it. And start building up some money and buy a phone. Because it's really pushing me to the point of going into debt again. My credit score's way down because they threw me out, nowhere to go. So I traveled Canada for a while. You know, it's just greed. The lawyer, I'm going to have to take legal action against him with my lawyer because they're using this as a loss, way. They're making money in real estate. And she knew this, my niece. Do I hate her? I was, but not now. I forgive. But I had this. I'm telling you these things because people go for this as you get older. They manipulate the estate. And I tried to get lawyers around here. Forget it. You know, I had to go to another county to get a divorce lawyer. It's crazy. Collingwood's not a good area to get lawyers. I went into one place and I said, "Where's the lawyer?" He took off. That was my husband. He's cheated on me. So I got a lawyer. It's in Toronto. I got legal shit. But I've had so much hardship. I'm thinking of going to Ottawa and filing. I tried the Ontario Human Rights Commission. There's a girl there. We will not tolerate. I'm not yelling at you. You thinking of it? We'll see how it goes. Hung up. What are they hiring at these desks in Ontario? I go to Alberta. You can get fruit of things. You know. Do I go back to Alberta? You know, I mean, Ontario, a trucker. I'm in a cabin in Wasaga Beach because I couldn't get housing. I hadn't paid off the rent. Listen to how my story goes. Mob blows. And I can't even get housekeeping here. Doug wants us to go to nursing homes. I'm only 68. I like freedom and just a housekeeper to come in. No, you got to pay for it. How can you pay for it when they're inflating the housing market? So I talked to a lawyer in Toronto. You've got a good opportunity to get into Australia as an Australian citizen. Can I tell you why I think Australia is better? When I was there, people would talk politics. They wouldn't get into this. I'm in the Green Party, okay? I wouldn't be in the Green Party in Australia because they're anti-horse racing. You know, the Ontario Liberal Party is backed by the Ontario Thoroughbred and Standardbred Association of Ontario. They want Doug gone. And am I anti-conservative? Well, nothing's working with Doug and any of those others here. And he scares me, Pierre Pawel. Can I say why? Because I don't believe him. I don't believe him. I can't believe him. Why? Because he's going to get rid of carbon tax. Oh, yeah, this is what they do, the PCs, all the time. They get ratepayers. And you look up anything that the liberals do. To me, that's good, my dental's covered. But oh no, it's a ripoff. It's a ripoff. A tax ripoff. Any incentive the liberals make, it's a ripoff, these guys say. The problem with them is they're poor. I'm poor because I'm a senior and I deserve, but she might get rid of the Canada pension plan. That's the conservative in Alberta. I move out there, I'm all right. But the conservatives in Ontario, am I going to get cut off here? You cut me off one time. I was talking about healthcare, and you banned the video. Freedom, man, freedom, peace. My buddy was right when John Lennon died. It was we were upset. Chapman shot Lennon. He was up there with Ronnie Hawkins. It was good in Canada, And I think he wrote. Somebody told me he wrote that song "Imagine" with Ronnie, the Hawk up there in the Ottawa area. I was up there. I think Canada was a good country before Stephen Harper. Before Preston Manning changed the Reform Party. Skip the country. There's work. Everybody had housing. So I don't agree with Pierre Pullet. I read the Tiley from BC. They say he's the worst darn thing. He was right up Harper's, rump. So, somebody said on here, I'm denouncing citizenship if he gets in. You need psychiatric help. Do I? Do I really? That's my right as a Canadian citizen to denounce Canadian citizenship, to become a full Australian that is putting through renewable sector energy. Who else? China is putting through electric energy. I got a message from Brisbane, and it said they're not taking coal anymore. Why? So I go on here and I look it up. They'll be ahead of us any day going into renewable sector. Australia, these two are tycoons there. Just like E.P. Taylor. These guys I like. They have enough money. They made it in mining resources, and they're doing the alchemy to make it outback all. And they're going to energy going to Singapore, all these countries. And China's following suit. I read an article, and it's interesting. There's so much attack against the Chinese. Well, this article is from British Columbia non-blue province. And it said Canada will be poor without Chinese trade. I think China and Australia could come up into the renewable sector. I really believe that. He was writing me from Churchill Downs. He's a horse trainer. We're always following the racehorses. I'd like to, if I could get money out of here, I'd keep Canada citizenship until I'm done and have a dual. And I'll get, he's up in Queensland. He's going to go 2 places I know where there's good thoroughbreds. Woodbine, Saratoga. They're not at Belmont anymore. They're Woodbine and Saratoga in California. Those 2 bloodlines. Ellen, he's up there in Queensland. Says, now you're talking. I've been getting a lot of things from on LinkedIn messages coming in with thoroughbred racing. You know, I'm poor just like Waller was. Chris is a great guy from New Zealand. He went in there and trained Winks, and wow. I've had a couple of sports traders say, I got a hunch on you. You're going to make a lot of money in thoroughbred racing. Well, he's in the top 5 of thoroughbreds in the United States. He knows his stuff. And he gave me all the tips what to breed to. Am I putting money in? Well, I saw him. He just won what do you put money into? It's what you know in life. Did I waste my life away in horses? Going and continuing my education. Did I waste my life away? I see a lot of people in businesses and jobs who go to university and they come out, I don't know what I'm going to do now. But what is the foundation of your life? And could you put it into an entrepreneurial skill? This young man, he's sitting there with his Apple computer, which is nice, trying to figure out what to do next after he got a sociology degree. I want to be a jazz pianist. It's good. There's nothing wrong with that. At least he wants to go somewhere. I mean, another girl out there in Calgary, she's got a master's degree in education. She can't do it. And she doesn't know what the hell she wants to do. This is why life coaching is important. But my garden's pretty small, but it's a grow, and I'm started. I got a name for the business. I'm gonna do uh, Reiki on horses and animals. Yeah, started. I'll get more money doing it that way. There's so many animals around here, and I'm good at this. It's a start, and as I build money, I'll buy things. I'm trying to get insurance. There's a broker downtown. I'm sure I can get in there. Everything's been failing on me. That phone broke down. I bought this. You know, I think this is a good business phone. I can hear it when it rings. It doesn't go into off modes and stuff. It's simple. But, and it doesn't distract me when I'm writing. I got paper. And that's just off the phone. It's far cheaper than Apple iPhone. And it's just better for my needs. And I've studied a lot of courses on marketing and business. I was thinking of this life coaching. I find people that need life coaching by walkabout. I don't know what it is. I go into the right place. There's somebody that's really messed up. I'll help you out. And that's how I'm doing it. There's a young man on here, and I was listening to him. He's quite right. He's doing photography. What does he do? He goes out to bars, restaurants, and meets people, hands out business cards. Everybody has a different method. My uncle in Australia did all his business in the pub night. Yeah, bush pubs, but he got contracting jobs. I go into bars and there's contractors, there's tradespeople in there, business owners. Drop a card off. There you go, buddy. Need any help? That's how businesses are getting done. I was in a bar in Duncan. We got drinking and talking. This guy's a website developer, a really good one, out in Duncan, BC. You just go into a bar and you start talking to the right people, and you'll meet connections. I've never. Well, it's the old school method of what they say in business, the gift of the gab. They like your voice. They like your method. And some people on LinkedIn say you're a good businessman. You got a lot of business sense. And I think Chris was watching him quite a bit. What do you do, right? He loves what he does. Chris Waller, you know, he's got two stables, one in Victoria and one in Sydney. So I could say Canada's all right for some people. I won't. Depends what you do in life. You know, I got my pension's pretty well protected. I don't really need to pay back. I'm getting it cleaned up. But they never paid off a debt in the estate. I have to sue them. And I didn't want it. But I got a lawyer now. And he said, if you can keep the payments up on the, we'll get you out of Canada. Good law firm. We'll get you the right sources. And I was hunting around, and it's just a matter of me proving the state was influenced unduly. But they won't talk to me. They won't. There was no mediations. I came to no point. No mediation. Nothing. Yeah. And then I talked to his wife. Died. He stayed married to her because he knew she'd suck him dry with alimony because he was cheating on her. That's my one nephew. The other nephew, he just left his wife and stole a lot of property on her. Got a place on his own now. She told me to sue him. I think I will. There's somebody else that said that sue him, Greg. So it's the family. And I'm going to tell you what I think psychologically what happened. My dad was awful tough. He was giving us boys tough love all the time. Well, their dad did the opposite. He babied them. They didn't have to work. They didn't have to go out. You know, they were just babied. All three of them. They seem so sweet, like virtues, but they're not virtues. They're snakes. I shouldn't run down my family. They're not my family. They threw me out of the house and I went homeless for a year. That's not good when a man has PTSD from armed robbery. But I couldn't get supports here. And I think the trucker was right out there in Edmonton area. He contacted me in his rig saying, "Are you in Ontario, Greg?" Yeah. It sucks in Ontario. Truckers driving through. He says everywhere in Alberta it's all right. It's Calgary. Calgary says it sucks, but he says I like Alberta driving. Yeah, Alberta's good in some ways. You got the highways that just straight through. No hills, just cut them through. Truckers still like that, you know. But in Ontario, a lot of problems. Like I can go out, this is a 55 plus in Ontario. I've been considering going out to Alberta again. I had 3 months there. And they want me at the FBI. The Spruce Mountains. They want me at a lot of things. It was Ontario, Alberta works. We're keeping you here. But, you know, I'm sorry, guy. I don't like being pushed around. But I think he was right. But he put me in a Calgary. He put me in Calgary Salvation Army until I turned 65. Couldn't take that place. It was like a shit. And it caught on fire and I had to leave. But I'll tell you, I'll be grateful for every man I've met in that men's Salvation Army. The ranchers lost their ranches. A family dies just like me. This happens to older men. You got a ranch out there, your kids or something happens, whew, you got nothing. And then I met I look like I was right down from the King Eddie. I like the King Eddie, but I couldn't go next door because they don't let you drink at Salvation Army. Here I go across and have a drink, but King Eddie be better. Good music there. But I don't mind it. I had a nice meal tonight, and the price wasn't too bad. This area is very expensive, but King Eddie's good gig. So I was out in Strathmore. It's got a King Eddie. We had a damn good time there. But that's just jukebox, rodeo town. Um, I got the skills. I just need to get the insurance. I'm thinking fly out of here. Fly to Alberta for a while. Get some money in. And I talk to businesses around here. I got saddles in India. I got this light pair unit that'll fix horses so well from China. And I call up the Alberta Equestrian Association. It's not like calling the government. They don't say we will not tolerate. I get the head honcho there, woman, or the in FEI and Spruce Meadows, give me tips here. And I called through and I said, I got these saddles to import. Well, he worked with my lawyer there. Because these guys said, how do they get here? They're in India and China. They fly. I don't know where these guys get business ideas. Imports, just fly them in FedEx. So they're showing them all these saddles and stuff. And I sent it out to Alberta. Whoa, we like it. Because it's Western, it's equestrian, and it's cheaper. Am I attacking India? I'll tell you what I think it is. They had they came out with those microloans, and they are good equestrian saddle makers. I've never seen so much good quality there. And what they want is just to get their sons into Canada to be a computer scientists and stuff. Well, if you come to Canada, make sure you can find a place to live. You're better to come in now if you're from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, or anywhere. Make sure you get housing and with your own people. There's a lot of people from India here. And they all support each other. They live in a community together. That's the way you got to do it. And I'm not a racist. I think the people I meet from India, they're Sikhs, Muslims, Hindus, they're nice people. And I'm not a racist. You're welcome here. I'm not blaming you. And what they've done now is they're taking rooms. A lot of people here because you need 2 years before you can buy a house. Now, it's just all this attack on multicultural and blaming Trudeau. There's things that were not in balance in Canada. The housing situation, the prices just kept on going up and up and up. And it's not Trudeau. It's free market capitalism. It's brokers gone wild. And it's young guys trying to get into university If I buy a house, right, it's just their way to surviving. That's the only way they can think. Buy a house, flip it, fix it up, and flip it. Do I hate them? No, they're trying to get to university. I don't hate people. It's just a survival technique, but it's gone crazy. Now, brokers coming out and say it's a commodity market. Whoa, it's not a commodity market. I really, really, really find that offensive. Because the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, housing is a right. There's a young man out here. The police say, get his number, Greg. He's not a criminal. They won't give him treatment or anything in a hospital because he's got no housing. He came up from Toronto, and he's got a sign out there. He's not a hater. He just says this is a ripoff, the amount of prices here. Well, he wants a trade. I called the cops up and I said, you're right, Greg. They need trades. You know, you can go back and go to university after you get a trade. You know, electricians, we're building houses here in Canada. Our younger people need to be working in trades in Ontario. Absolutely. You know, I can bitch about the price of living, but it's not going to get better unless you get off your butt and get a trade and start working. You know, the days of privilege are over. I never had privilege. I worked, but that seems to be a blame on here. I worked at a lot of jobs before I got into horse racing. And I worked in equestrian too. I've worked in a lot of fields, but I worked. And it was a value my father gave me. My father was a World War I veteran of World War I. Yeah, I know this guys. I talked to him about dating younger women. He married an Australian Army nurse, World War II. He was 61 last one. You know, was he rich? He was employed, and he stayed employed till he was 67. Well, I'm 68, and I'm going back to work in my own business. And I'm an entrepreneur. So I don't think there's any way I work for anybody. No, and at 68, they don't want you unless I go over to Walmart and be a greeter. She's 80 and she's working on a dollar store. She makes a bit of money. I'll make a lot more with what I've got set up. And I got print shops here. I'm going to start using print shops and services, but I can't do it any other way. I got guys that are into this area's got all sorts of marketing strategies and stuff. Georgian College just outside of Collin. There's a lot of students from India and Middle East that are studying at Georgian. Graphic arts and design, advanced. So that it's good for me, but the cost of living's high. You know, I like to go out and have a drink. I like to go out and have a meal because that's the way I lived at the track. I'd rather. I'm a single man. You don't give me home cooking and cleaning. I don't like cooking. I'll go out in a restaurant as long as I'm making good money. But am I ranting? I'm just sharing with you because a lot of people are going through these things. My neighbor, 80, working. She says it's a freedom plan. You got two choices as a senior in Canada. Go back to work, start a business, or fly away. And you need money to fly away. I'm looking at flights. They're not bad. But what I'm doing is I need to get some hands-on work in. for my business to go to Australia. I've studied courses. There's one course there I studied. I need 20 horse study on it. The other one, 3 horse. So I get the international certification as a massage therapist. And I can keep on learning online. I learned from Dr. Angela Barber. And I've been learning on Udemy, this Rockford method of muscle release. And I'm using Reiki and energy healing. And I know enough about biology and anatomy because that's what I graduated in horses. So I'm not just one trick pony. I'm going to do well at that, I think. It might mean if there's no horses here, fly and go out. Just have a good license and be able to move on. I just want to travel till I'm out of Canada. So the phone broke down. I couldn't get the things in here. Bought that to keep me going. I might go out for a coffee. I'm tired of being shut up. There you go out for a coffee. I think they're open. Yeah, go out for a coffee. It just gets me on my head to sit in this apartment and no help. You know, you're privileged, they say. Am I? I never lived it by myself before, and I'm not organized. I need a wife. Or I need a home care. 68, I should be able to get some. But I can get it, but I got to pay for it. Because Doug cut the plans up. Alberta, I can go out there. I was talking to you getting a 55 plus, sir, and we'll get you home care. At first I didn't like the 55s. There's some nasty people in there, nasty women. But I'll tell you something. I got a lot of friends here. And they're 55 plus, and we talk about a lot of things. I like my age group. You know, we talk about good music. We don't talk about hip hop. Sorry. We talk about rock and roll, man. But we don't talk about hip hop. And there's guitar players up here, and they got a studio in their apartment. And across the hall here, he's an Alberta trucker. So, you know, they're all right. Some guys got Harleys here. I like that age group. I was trying to get into 65 plus. There's one up there in Coldwater. I might try, but cops come by. Well, you need a better place to live, Greg. It's noisy here. You got to go to a psychiatrist. I'm not going to one of them. I did that before, brother. He almost killed me. What, you going to analyze me as Santa Claus or something? Insanity? It's such a thin line. I play piano, I play guitar. You read Levington's This Is Your Brain on Music. If I get cut off here because I'm telling you the truth, we are not senile if we keep our brain active. It's a matter of effort and keeping intellectual pursuits going and educating yourself and being active. There's men up here in their 90s riding bicycles 40K a day. Am I crazy? No, they retire gainfully, and then Russ never sleeps and keep on exercising. And I mean, gainfully retired older men. You know, everybody's got a fear of getting old. I go out to Duncan there. I'm staying in a hotel. And this guy's a real good-looking younger man, I thought. He's 74. What's he riding? He's bicycle touring Canada at 74. He's got an iPhone. Goes into those Armada. There you are, sir. There's your room. Takes his bicycle, puts it in the locker, goes upstairs, has a shower or a bathroom. He's on the road again. Doing well, but he's gainfully retired. I like hotel life. It's a lot better than living here. No fixed address. In Ontario, if you don't have a fixed address, you don't have health care. And that's what he's like. He's got a broken wrist. They won't let him in the hospital. You have to have a fixed address. I think it's a ripoff. Yeah. Have private insurance. Because that's crazy. You got, and I've only had to go in because the phone broke. Goodbye, Canada.